There's an epidemic in world cricket at the moment. It's an epidemic that's been around for a long time, but it just seems to gather momentum. It's not going away anywhere. Teams cannot win away from home. We've known about it for a while. I mean, England have gone to Australia, lost all 5. India have gone to Australia, England lost all 4, went back there, lost 3-1. Australia came to India, can't win a game. But then they went to play against Pakistan in the Gulf, and then it hit home even more strongly. I mean, I've got friends in Australia, and they say, yes, South Africa's tough opposition, yes, India's tough opposition, the Ashes are always big, but we don't lose to Pakistan. They hadn't lost a series for 20 years, and even that series was sort of best of 3. Pakistan scrambled one test, one wicket win. Australians believed that they could not lose to Pakistan, and they were outplayed. There was just one team in that series. You can understand the first one goes away sometimes. You're suddenly coming from Australia to the Gulf. It's a bit of an off-season. You lose. Don't forget that Pakistan had the most inexperienced bowling attack ever almost. Then the second test started, and I was watching it curiously because I've long been an admirer of Australian cricket and their ability to come fighting back. By the time the first day ended, you were sort of halfway into the second day. It seemed there was only one team playing. Is this an Australia phenomenon then? Because even even Australia can't come back, why are teams losing so much overseas? Why is a team like Australia out of the contest almost halfway into the second test? And I'm thinking, how would this Australian team have played if they were playing 5 test matches in the Middle East? Or even 4, as happens when teams visit their country. And it got me thinking, why are more and more teams losing so much? South Africa is the only team that can either draw or win overseas. One of the factors most people have talked about is the impact of 20-over cricket. And to some extent it's true. I mean, I worked on the Champions League earlier this year, and then when the one-day started, the first one against the West Indies, we did our pre-show, we're sitting in and watching the game on television. It's been an hour and a little bit, and we all looked at our watches and said, you know what, that was over 18. We've got 32 overs left and there's 50 overs to come. And I wonder sometimes if batsmen feel that way, if bowlers feel that way. They've bowled 4 overs, they've got another 25 to bowl. So definitely that could be a factor. I mean, from 20-over cricket, 40-over cricket to 100-over cricket, you start to feel the difference. Can you imagine being a player and all of a sudden you're playing 450-over cricket? So definitely that is a factor. But there's another one. In the days gone by, people used to go to England and play 11 first-class matches before the first test match. Then play another 2 or 3 before the second. By the time you got to the third and fourth, there was no home team, there was no away team. India used to go to Australia, they'd play Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, then go and play a test match in Adelaide maybe, or maybe the order was wrong, but you played 3 first-class games before you went there. Now India go to Australia, playing 2 two-day games. It'll probably be 15 aside, one team bats one day, one team bats the other. It's Mickey Mouse cricket. So maybe one of the reasons why teams are losing away is with the fast food tours on, you're like fighter pilots. You land, play your game and you're gone. Maybe there's just not enough time to acclimatize. This Australian team that got completely outplayed in Pakistan is not as bad as that. The same Pakistan team will go to Australia, get off a flight, play the first test in Brisbane and suddenly wonder why the ball is hitting the top of their bat all the time. So maybe, and this is probably the stronger reason than 20-over, 50-over cricket, is we're just not giving each other enough time to acclimatize. Until that happens, and I fear for the worst with India going to Australia, we'll see more and more teams winning at home and losing away.
If you want to stay up to date with all my video blogs, hit the subscribe button.